About your GCF, greatest common factor, and least common multiple. The things that I need you to know, first of all, is I need you to be able to tell me the factors of a number. So if I give you 12, remember you want to do your rainbow. Those are the factors. Factors are numbers you multiply together to get your multiple. Okay, another factor, 2. Another factor, 3. Okay, and these are all the list you would make. You would write those in a list to make the factors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12 are factors of 12. So if you're asked to get the factors of them, and let's do the factors of 14. 1 and 14, always start with 1 in the number, divisible by 2 because it's an even number, 2 and 7. 3 doesn't work because 4 plus 1 is 5. 3 doesn't work. 4 doesn't work. 5 doesn't work. 6. Got 7. So that's our last one. So 2, 1, 2, 7, and 14 are the factors of 14. If you want to find the greatest common factor, if you're doing it this way, listing your factors, you look for the largest number where it's common in both of them. So they both have 1, but they both also have 2, which is greater. This one has 7, but this one doesn't. This has 14, and this one doesn't, and so forth. So the greatest common factor, the one that's common to both of them, would be 2 and 2. So my GCF, or greatest common factor, the biggest number that can divide into 14 and 12, both of them, evenly, would be 2. Now, we talked about doing the cake method. I'm going to show you that over here. 12 and 14. Okay, putting your L. Let's get a different color here. All right, so we look at what number can divide to 12 and 14. Let's start with 2 because we see they're both even numbers. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 goes into 14 7 times. 2 times 7 is 14. Then I box it in again with my L, and I look to see what number can divide into 6, 6 and 7 evenly. And I can't divide 2 into both of them. I can divide into this one, but not that. 3 can't go into them, and so forth. So I can only divide 1. And remember, when you get to 1, it's 1 and done. So my GCF is 1 times 2, right? Those two numbers, which is 2. Same thing. GCF is 2. So either way you do it, this is a little more cumbersome because you have to list them all and not forget any and make sure you've got all the combinations, where this one you can keep dividing and dividing until you get the numbers. So let me do one more, like the cake method. Now let me go back for just a second. So that's the GCF. If I want to find the least common multiple, that means multiples are 12 times 1 is 12. 12 is the multiple. 12 times 2 is 24. 24 is the multiple. 12 times 3 is 36. 36 is the multiple. Those are multiples. If I want to find the least common multiple of 14 and 12, I would have to sit and start to list them out like this. I would have to get my pencil again. 12 times 1 is 12. That's a multiple. 12 times 2 is 24. That's a multiple. 12 times 3 is 36. That's a multiple. I would have to do the same thing for 14. 14 times 1 is 14, multiple. 14 times 2 is 28, multiple. I would have to keep multiplying all out until I find a number that appears over here and appears over here, the least one, that first one that comes up. Well, that can take a lot of time. So instead, if I want to do the LCM, least common multiple, let's get a different color. Let's look at our cake method. This is how we're going to do it, the cake method. We've got our GCF over here. And then these last numbers, see how it makes like an L? I multiply 2 times 1, which is 2. That's my GCF. Then I multiply that times 6, which is 12. And then I multiply 12, because 2 times 6 is 12, times 7. and I get 84. That is my LCM. So 2 times 1 times 6 times 7. So 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 6 is 12. 12 times 7 is 84. And that's my LCM. That's a lot easier than trying to list them all out here until I get to 84 on each side. That's my LCM. Okay, let's do one more problem so you can see it when the other numbers, okay? Let me get this. All right. So we're going to do GCF and LCM. Greatest common factor, the biggest number that divides into both of them, at least 2 or more numbers, and LCM, the least common multiple, the answer to the multiplication problem for each one of those. Okay, so let's do 10 and 25. All right, I'm going to do the cake method. I'm not going to list them all out. I'm just doing a cake method. All right, here we go. Let's change colors so you can see it. I'm going to see 2 can go into 10, but this is not even, so 2 can't go into that. 3 can't go into that. 3 can't go into that. 4 doesn't go into 10 evenly. 4 doesn't go into this one. This is where your divisibility rules help you. 5 can go into this because it ends in a 0. 5 can go into this because it ends in a 5. So I'm going to start there. 5 goes into 10 2 times. 5 times 2 is 10. 5 goes into 25 5 times. 5 times 5 is 25. Box it in. Find a number that can go into 2 and 5 evenly. They can't. There's nothing that can go into them. Only 1. So 1 and done. 5 times 1 is 5. That's my GCF. The factor that can divide into both of these, the biggest factor that can divide into both of those. Nothing can go into 10 and 5 evenly, divide into them, then 5, into both of them. Okay, now we'll do the LCM. Here we go. Take your 5 times 1, make your line on your bottom one. Here's my L. Kind of looks like a big L, big fat L. 5 times 1 is 5. That's my GCF. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 times 5 is 50. So my LCM, the least common multiple, is 50. Well, let's check it out. I'm going to do the long way here. 10 times 1 is 10. 10 times 2, 20. 10 times 3, 30. 10 times 4, 40. 10 times 5 is 50. Okay? So we're going to stop there, and I'm going to do the multiple. These are the multiples over here, guys. Remember the answer to the multiplication problem. Okay, let's do the other one. Let's do 25. Okay? 25 times 1 is 25. 25 times 2 is 50. Look, 50, 50. The first time they hit the same answer, that's my least common multiple. Right? So you can list out all the multiplication all the way down, but when they get into big numbers, it gets really hard. So learn how to pick up, find your GCF, multiply that times all the numbers here. You're going to multiply them across here, all in an L, and get your LCM, your least common multiple of those two numbers. Okay? All right. Check it out and try the problems that you have tonight too.